Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Got the trade breakdown for today, 14 September. German 40, we took 40 pips. A little bit of trade management involved as well. And so let's get to it. There we go. Pretty busy day with the news. We had overnight, we had Aussie unemployment and employment change. Then we had the euro. This is the big one. The euro ECB, the interest rates. So they hiked. This report was actually like they leaked it that they were going to hike before, even though they had the forecasters to hold. They actually did hike. Then we had like a very, very busy US session with PPI, retail sales, unemployment, and then we had a press conference afterwards. So it was pretty crazy New York session. Where the trade I took was in the London Open. I've replayed some data here, so you can go back and have a look at the stream if you like to see it all play out. We saw with the Aussie unemployment, we did see indices, German 40. We saw it like quite a large Asian session. Asian session has been pretty good recently. It's been pretty big. Normally it's quite small. So we saw a huge candle up. Then we saw a little bit of consolidation, a little rejection wick, push up, another little doji, pushing up into these London highs, into this rectangle, this little zone that's been given problems all week. Then we had a little rejection, and then the Frankfurt Open was a solid bearish candle. So the idea was I wasn't really interested in taking sells because this had pushed down already so much, like from these highs to these lows. Price had pushed down 70, 75 pips already. There were sells to be had, but I was more looking for buys. And right before the London Open started, this is the pathway that I drew, looking for price to push down and do this kind of thing. Like this, I thought, let's see if we can do something like this. A few points of interest that we had over here. I had the 30-minute gave me a zone that I was looking at. Okay, as always, the same way I draw them is from the low of this candle. This one looks like a rejection wick, followed by a liquidity candle, which took the low of the doji and then closed bullish engulfing. So this from the low to the open gave me my zone that I was looking at, and then had another little zone inside of here, just isolating the liquidity wick by itself. And then the reason I use these GAN box because it's gives me like that sort of like same thing here, like that little purple and green split in the box. It's easy for me to identify the open, the midpoint, and the low of that wick. So these are my zones. I didn't trust this wick here because on the 15 minutes, no, not the 15 minutes, on the 1 hour. No, 1 hour is all right, actually, sorry. On this one is like a liquidity wick, but it was something that was just a little bit sus over here. So I didn't want to trust it. What I was looking for was price to react and take the low, take liquidity from underneath it. And then I was looking for it to push back up. So let's go to the 5-minute and then we'll just play, or let's go 3-minute actually. We'll just play it with candle by candle. So price pushed down, opened with no top wick. This is the London Open, no top wick. So as soon as I see something like that, I'm like, looks like it's going to probably come back to that stage at some time. Now, the further it can get down gives me like this is going to be a target, and the further that we can get away from that target, the better the risk reward can be. So I do like to see it come down, and I didn't want to take sells because usually when I take sells and I'm looking for buys, I miss the buys. So it was nice that it opened that way. Nice volatility. You could have taken sells. There's always missed opportunities, but you just got to go for the opportunity that you can see. Little doji, another breakdown, took the Asian low from this morning, extending the current daily low, pushing into this area, which would be ideal. Price hesitated so much around this little area, and it was like just leading people to like get in. That hesitation that it's doing like 3, 6, 9, 12 minutes. I really don't like that. I don't like that. If it's going to push down, I want to see it push down, react, come down, retest, and then go away. So I didn't get tricked into any of these. Now this candle here created another liquidity candle. So rejected the highs, candles to the left, and then closed nice and bearish, leaving a beautiful wick. So this is becoming a potential resistance. I'll show you where I drew the resistance, but price wicked up into it, pushed down, create another little doji, then shot down. I love that. That's something I really like to see. I like to see a fast move because a fast move is looking for liquidity. Fast move can be the false move. Now we just need to see signs of it slowing down because this is the kind of the triangle that we're targeting. I don't want to enter on this side of the triangle. I do want to see price slow down around here and then look for that entry where I can enter, say, somewhere here as close to that end of that triangle as possible, but also trying to get in on this side where I can take it back up rather than trying to catch that falling knife. Things I look for are like signs where it's going to slow down. Big thing is that it needs to come down into a zone. And I want to look for like something like a little doji, and then anticipation entry could be entering underneath that doji to anticipate close bullish, and then we can see potential upside. If I was going to wait for a confirmation entry, I'd like to see it take the low and then flip bullish, maybe enter on the flip, or wait for it to close above that doji to then say, you know what, we're breaking the high, we should be going up now. So let's go 3 minutes. Okay, next one. This is that little doji. Everything's looking pretty Gucci right here. Nice solid candle down, little doji. If I got something breaking the low, then I would be very keen on entering that trade. So next candle, okay, just hesitated, didn't quite break the low, didn't quite break the high, just really pausing. One more candle, took the low. My trade, this is the modified break-even version. Not break-even, sorry. Yeah, stops at break-even version. So the actual entry was down something like this with a 15 pip stop loss. Yeah, pretty much bang on right there, 15,590. Entered when we're underneath these wicks. One thing I was a little bit uncertain of was that that did give me pause. If you do go back and watch it, was that this was the 30-minute candle close, and that did make me a little bit uneasy. So we'll go to the 30 minutes right here, and you can see that this is the 30-minute candle closing. So no top wick, love that. Looking for a target. 30-minute coming to a close, not my preferred to be entering on the 30-minute close because the next candle can always do a bit of a wick fill and then push up. But I did enter because it was just such a nice looking area, such a nice zone that they tapped into. And this setup, I would be annoyed at myself if I didn't execute on something like that. It did make me manage it differently though. So that once price was breaking these guys, and if it did that in the first few minutes of this candle and then started coming back down, I didn't want to hold that. I didn't want to hold it. So well, I don't want to potentially take a loss on it. So what I did do was the next 3-minute candle, when it started pushing up, that was at a stage when I was up 1-to-1, was when I closed 50%. And I wanted to leave my stop loss there so I could survive any pullbacks and still be, pretty happy with the trade. Price then continued going up. Okay, tapped into this area. That was an ideal area to then close some more because of this doji here and because it is the new 30-minute candle and we still got a lot of bearish pressure from London. So from here to here was 40 pips. Closed another portion there. And then just left a runner to see if it can go and get to eventually this target here. So unfortunately, it didn't. Price came back down. Did do a little wick into this area. I didn't move the stop. I did move the stops to break even, but it was like the way I managed this was I'm watching price to get down to here. And that if it does come down here, my stop loss is not there, like as a hard stop loss. What it is that if price comes down, I'll give it a chance to like retest the entry because this is a liquidity candle in itself that it's likely to be retested. But if it starts breaking its own low, then I'm not interested. But if it moves away from here, this would then become a hard stop loss. So that's exactly how I managed it. Price did start to move away. That was when I moved to a hard break even. Because if it's breaking here, it's probably going to push down lower, which indeed it did. See, push down. There was entries here. I didn't take this one. This was a cowboy. This would have been a cowboy entry, but there were people that did. I was done for the day. But this one would have been a perfect entry, being that it was at the midpoint of that 15-minute candle that I pointed out from the get-go. Okay, this was this candle, and the 50% is a beautiful area to be targeting. Stop losses could have gone below it, and then obviously the target still remains the same, was that London Open no wick, no top wick candle, just to extend it higher. So I'll stick on the 15 minutes price. Indeed, just like wick down a little bit, closed bullish, breaking above this resistance, and then it was, that was the end of it. Just retest this area, and she just flew, and it was so like such a nice trade. Reacted perfectly from the London high to give a bit of a reaction, and then eventually the bullish pressure just took over. And boy, afterwards got like I'm happy with my trade, but it would have been nice to just be part of this ECB news that really just kept on made main indices fly. Then there was a hawkish, a dovish hike. So it looks like they've signaled the end of the rate hike cycle. So stocks love that. Stocks absolutely love that. So we just rallied and rallied and rallied and rallied. So that was my trade. Pretty happy with the day. Another good day. It's been a great week actually. So I'll leave it there. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a comment. Please give it a like. Please give the channel a subscribe if you like. It really does help. That way, keep up to date with all the new videos. And when I go live for the streams and the London session, the guys that have been attending, we've been killing it lately. So anyway, that's your choice. So I'll leave it to you. Otherwise, I will see you in the London session tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.